Hi, it's Megan. So I have the Tarte Rainforest of the Sea Wipeout color correcting palette. And so with this and a couple of other kind of contour color correcting palettes, I am doing both a video review and a tutorial at the same time, just because every time I do a review for them, someone asks, which is fine, they should ask, how do you use it? So I figured I'd do both at the same time. And so I would love feedback to see if this is a valid, workable thing. And it means, in this case, I am starting the video with no makeup on except a little bit of lipstick. But, you know, it's what you do sometimes. So this is $45, and I was lucky enough to get this when Tarte had their sale. So it was 30% off, and then Ebates had another 4% off, so it was much cheaper. And they say balance, correct, and perfect your complexion as you wipe out skin discolorations with these powerful cream complexion correctors. It is a limited edition, and they say it's easy to use. It's got numbered shades, and by the way, they're numbered. Oh, this one actually is numbered on the palette. The contour palette was not numbered on the palette, but this one is. They are numbered, and they have a coordinating visual guide right here. To make the professional techniques of color correction accessible to everyone. So there are 6. The orange counteracts darkness, green neutralizes redness, warmth sculpts, contours, and defines, peach 1 camouflages light to medium skin tones, peach 2 camouflages medium to deep skin tones, and yellow highlights and brightens. And so they say these universal shades work across skin tones to offset dark circles, redness, and acne while contouring and highlighting, and a creamy texture that minimizes the look of imperfections, including pores and fine lines. So it's 6 times 0.11 cream complexion. And it's Tarte, so it's mostly natural. So there's them. And I am going to tell you what I think, and then I'm going to put it on. So overall, I really like this palette. I've read some other reviews online, and there are a couple things that people are saying consistently. So I have dry skin. This may not work for people with oily skin. I'm reading some people writing reviews saying that it just doesn't take on their skin. And I've been playing around with it. For someone with dry skin, it's great, right? There's that question of, do you do powder for contour or do you do cream? And this is both color correcting and contour. And I'm fine with both. I find that if you are good at creams, they actually look a little bit more natural. But they're a lot trickier, in my opinion, to use and to get right. And so, the contour is going to look a little odd on my face, just because with the color correcting, you can put it on top of foundation or you can put it under foundation. And with the contour, it's a little bit better over foundation, but I just decided I wanted you to see the impact of the color correcting on my actual skin, because once I put foundation over it, it's just not going to be quite as vivid and vibrant. So what's the point? The contour will just look a little better. The reason why contour works better with some kind of foundation is because you're blending it in, and it blends in better if you're using a cream on your own skin. But overall, it's still going to blend a little bit better with your foundation, because then you're mixing it into another product. I do like contour. I find that heavy contour looks great on camera, but it looks really awful, at least on me, so I'm not going to judge anyone else, but on me it looks really awful off camera. So even for videos, I only do light contouring. If I wanted that kind of, well, I'm not going to name names, but that whole kind of, you know what I mean, thing going on, then I would do more contour, but it's not me, and it's not everyone. So the other thing I was going to say about it is that some people were saying, well, there are 2 other things. Some people are saying that some of these are too sheer for their skin. And so I don't have a lot of discoloration on my skin, so for me it's fine. But some people are saying it is a little too sheer. I like it, actually. I like it a little sheer. And then the other thing is that it's not universal colors. So I don't even know how to address this, but like a lot of these contour palettes and color correcting and all this are made for a range of skin tones, kind of in the medium to light, and aren't going to work for everyone. This one also is a little bit warm, So if you see the orange a little bit warm, and these are all a little bit warm. This is a contour in kind of the vein of bronzer contours as opposed to some of the more gray kind of contours which some other brands have. So if you've got a really light cool skin tone or really dark deep skin tone, I'm not sure this is going to work for you. I have not really gotten into the color correcting craze at all, but I decided to try this palette when it was on sale, and I'm glad I did. I do really like it. I do have a bunch of green Korean primers, which I love. I would never live without them. They get rid of the yellow, but other than that, I haven't really been one to jump on this trend. Before now, right? And so this is the makeup less look. Okay, so brighten and highlights. Use the yellow shade to brighten and highlight the high planes of the face. Apply to the under eye areas in a triangle of light shape, starting under the outer corner down to the cheekbones and up around the inner corner. Next, draw lines upward in a fan shape, starting in between the eyebrows, and then highlight above and below the brow bone. Finish the step by applying down the bridge of nose, on the cupid's bow, and below the lip. Okay, this is going to take a little bit of concentration here. I'm glad they have the diagrams. So you're putting a little bit here. I'm going to put and then blend there. See, there goes the hair already. A triangle under the eye. So this is supposed to get rid of the dark circles. But we can see it going away already. And on top of my nose. So this one actually, I read someone say that this middle one, this is the one I'm using, should be bigger. It should be bigger. This is a big one that we're going to use. And then we're doing it right. Okay, the eyebrows are going to get all messed up. That's okay. They weren't that great to begin with. Okay, so we're putting it there. And I think my eyes already look brighter, honestly. Okay, next, contour darkness. Use the orange shade to counteract darkness, applying a half circle in the hollow area between the eyes and nose to just below the center of the lash line. And just below the center of the lash line. So right in here. I wish I had gotten the brush that Tarte sold with this. I did not. I'm just going to use my fingers to blend. So we're using a concealer brush from Crease. I can't pronounce it. I usually can, but for some reason I just went Crease. I cannot apply the orange and think at the same time. Seriously. Alright, so there we did the orange. So this is where some people have said this is way too orange for my skin tone. On my skin tone, which is slightly warm, it works. Neutralize redness. Alright, so here they're saying use a green shade to neutralize redness, applying outward motions as needed, targeting cheeks and around nose and chin. Okay, my cheeks are not particularly red, but my nose does get a little red. So we're going to put it there. We're using my finger because it's going to pick up more. Now you can also use a beauty blender. You don't have to use a brush. I just tend to use brush and fingers. It's more a personal preference than anything else. I have these little red spots. Where else do we get red? I don't know, chin? Where else did they put it? Yeah, chin. Okay, so blend a little. And like I said, beauty blender, finger, whatever you use, or brush. It's all good. Define and sculpt. Okay, so now I have this brush. So this we're going to use the warm shade to define and sculpt. Apply to the hollow area below the cheekbone, along the jawline, and top of forehead. And again, this is where we have to use our little chart, because this chart makes it so much easier. The directions, it's not that they're confusing, because they're not. I don't make it sound that way. It's just that the picture is so much better. Okay, so you know, you can do, but what's better actually is if you feel your cheekbone, because you're trying to hit right the under part of your cheekbone. So for me, it's right there. And I prefer, personally, we're just going to draw lines first. I personally prefer harder, more precise brushes. And I said this in that other video, which was for the contour palette. When I have been to a lot of the classes, like Urban Decay and Tom Ford both, in both cases they used a smaller brush. They did not use like a really wide brush. So we're just going to brush it on so you can see. We're not going to blend yet. So you can see it's slightly orange. And then you line the jaw. And so here you can come up just a tiny little bit as well. That is not on the instructions. The instruction says just to go here, like this, but we're interpreting. I have to keep looking down because the camera, they have this little like square thing that goes around my face. And it makes it hard for me to see. Now I have to get my neck a little bit too because living in a warm climate, oh, I can't stand the orange. It is a little orange on me. Living in a warm climate, my face is always getting more sun, even with sunscreen, which I wear religiously. It's always getting more sun than my neck. All right, so we're going around the eye socket, and then again here, and then blending. Again, you can use a beauty blender, you can use a brush, whatever, you can use your fingers, whatever you like. And then this I never do, but it's always on these instructions right up here. Are we starting to look a little bit more chiseled? I think so. And I cannot blend perfectly on camera, so we're gonna be mostly perfect. I think my face looks better. Okay, camouflage. Use the perfect shade of peach to camouflage. So I will use, ooh, they're slightly different in tone. One is lighter, but it's also a little cooler. So I'm actually gonna use the big brush. No, I'm not. That was a mistake. I just thought it would be easier. I put too much. So this does crease a little bit on me. The concealer from Tarte from this palette does crease a tiny bit on my dry skin. Not a lot. It's not that bad, but it does crease a little. Where else do they want me to put the concealer? So I don't get under eye circles like this. I get little darkness in here. So most people would want to put the concealer here. But for me, it's actually going in like this over the orange. And I think, honestly, with this palette, you need to put it over the orange anyway to conceal the orange. Okay, so we've got concealer. Where else did they want me to put the concealer? Oh, they wanted me to, oh, that's clever. They want me to put it up here to kind of soften and transition into that darker shade. And then what I have never done before is they want me to use it as a highlight, like this. And by the way, there are two concealer shades. To get more subtle highlights, instead of using this, you can actually use the darker of the concealer shade. Someone at another brand showed me that. So you can use concealer also just to highlight above. I'm not sure I did that one so effectively. But we're just gonna go with it. And then we're gonna take the contour and the nose, which I forgot, and we're gonna brush it like this. So you can see I have no foundation on whatsoever, but all of a sudden my skin looks a lot better. And when I talk a lot of times about how I actually don't wear foundation on a daily basis, I'm more likely to do this type of a thing and then put like light BB cream. I would put obviously the BB cream on before I did the contour, but the BB cream or just a tinted moisturizer. And so I would do the orange, the yellow, and the concealer and the green, and then I would put a BB or a tinted moisturizer over it, or a CC, then I would do the contour. Okay, so camouflage, we're there. And then once all shades have been applied, use a buffing blush to blend 4 and 5 over all colors for a neutral finish. Okay, so they're saying you could use this as a foundation as well, which we're not gonna do. I'm just gonna blend a little bit. So I do like this kind of a brush. I thought that was a little harsh around my nose, but a brush like this can be used then to kind of soften all the lines. So anyway, that is my quick tutorial using this Tarte Wipeout color correcting palette. I do like it. I don't like it for everyone, just depending on your skin tone, which is not a surprise. There's no like universal product out there for anyone, I guess. Thanks for watching.